Hello everyone and welcome. Usually I do videos on Aegis, but today I want to do something a little bit different. I think most people have a very negative relationship with losses, and it stunts their growth as a player in many different ways. So that's going to be today's topic. Hopefully I can flip that frown upside down by the end of it. I also want to say that I'm probably not going to sugarcoat anything, so if you feel called out, good. Why are losses so negatively charged to begin with? I can think of a few reasons. If you're focusing on winning, and only winning, losing, simply put, isn't the outcome you were looking for. It becomes very black and white, where winning is good and losing is bad, and there's nothing in between. People then tend to tunnel vision under losses and stew in their feelings about it, but not really think about why they lost. It's why you'll often see people have repeat losses in tournament sets because they weren't able to compose themselves and were too busy thinking about the loss in a non-constructive way. I'm so bad! Or, I'm so stupid! Are phrases I'm sure you've either heard before or said yourself at some point. Thing is, losing and making mistakes is completely normal in the process of learning and improving. And what's so nice about losses is that they tell you exactly what you're doing wrong, no ifs or buts. If you lost against someone, it's likely due to them taking advantage of something lacking in your gameplay. Could be predictable patterns, matchup inexperience, lacking game knowledge, mistakes, etc. So losses is one of the best resources you have to learn what you need to get better at. The faster you get comfortable with losses, the better. Inversely, victories can be studied to learn what you're doing right. It's why people tend to review sets from top players to learn from. The problem is that when you fall into a win-focused mindset, you kinda stop having fun in between. Losing is now an undesired outcome, so when it happens, it's more likely you'll feel sad, frustrated, or straight up angry. Even if you're playing with friends, it might be hard for you to be excited for them when they pull off something cool on you. And hey, if you lost to an opponent and it was a close game that you managed to play really well, pat yourself on the back. Again, people tend to focus on their final mistake rather than all the smaller victories they had during the match. If you manage to finally pull off something you've been labbing, that's a victory regardless of whether you win or not. If you're grinding a matchup and you finally manage to implement the counterplay you've been thinking about despite losing, huge W. A while back, I played as Steve for several hours and people wondered how I could stick with it for so long. It's because of the small victories. And the fact that I'm learning. Learning is fun, guys. Small victories and learning is how you have fun regardless of the results. Granted, you'd have to be in the right mindset for it, but you can do it. I believe in you. Another thing I want to touch on that people often forget is, in order to get good at something, you have to be bad first. There's going to be suck. That's a fact, and it's inevitable. You're not going to be amazing at something right off the bat. There's a learning curve, and it's going to take time. A lot of time. For some people it's going to click faster, and for others it's going to take longer. So give yourself some grace, be patient, and most importantly, be kind to yourself. You're learning. There's so many things you don't know that you have yet to discover. And while I can't speak for everyone, I do think some people have a really hard time accepting that they're bad. Like, coming to terms with that fact, accepting it, and moving forward. Because if you want to improve, it means that there's something that needs improving. Right? That there's something that needs to be worked on. Something quote-unquote bad, in other words. Like, if you believe that you're really good at something and nothing needs to be improved, let me just tell you, it's gonna hit you like a truck when you get humbled. It's just a matter of time. Which is a nice segue into developing an ego, because massive egos is still a problem in the Smash community. Trust me, if someone believes they're superior to you, they will treat you like garbage, and it's not fun for anyone involved. Usually, someone gains a win streak, which in turn makes them believe they're incredible at the game. Thing is, being good at Smash gives you status, and that goes to people's heads very quickly. Now, there's nothing wrong with a healthy amount of confidence and believing in yourself. We like that here. But, at some point, overconfidence becomes a real issue that will bite you down the line. Have you ever heard the phrase, "I shouldn't be losing to this guy," or "Why am I losing? I'm better than you"? Sometimes, people might blame the game, online, or heck, even you for why they're losing. They only get excited when they win, and then complain or go dead silent if they lose. And, of course, they will not take any feedback, because they can't take advice from people they consider themselves better than. Taking accountability for their actions isn't something that's commonly seen with these sorts of people. It's like that one meme. Am I out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong. Even if they're losing, they're often too prideful to admit that they're worse than their opponent. Bad, even. Listen, no matter the situation, if someone is beating you at a video game, they're either doing something correctly, or you're doing something wrong. You can't deny that. And this circles back to what I was talking about before. More than anything else I've talked about, this sort of attitude seriously makes you stagnate as a player. Losses feel deeply personal, and the game itself is taken more serious than it should ever be. It's like focusing on winning, but taken to an extreme level. So, it's all fun and games until you lose, and then there's like absolutely zero whimsy. Like, are you even having fun at that point? Playing games is supposed to be fun, you know? I know this sort of turned into a rant, but I've just ran into so many people like this over the years that I felt the need to get this out. But to summarize, losses aren't bad and can be used as a resource to better yourself, provided you are in the right mind space for it. Mistakes aren't the end of the world, even if they feel like it in the moment. And I think attaining that sort of growth mindset is really important if you want to go far in anything you try. Anyway, that's all I had for now. Was a bit all over the place, but if it's helpful to someone out there, that's all that matters. Thanks for watching, and take care.